The Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 brings with it split-screen multitasking, quad-core power, creative apps, and the S Pen. Niggles aside, you're looking at a gorgeous machine that handles multitasking admirably. So while you may be paying £400 for a plastic back that does tend to creak and flex, there's a micro SD slot, 2 front-facing speakers, and an infrared blaster to turn the Note into a remote. Now, as the Note 10.1 is aimed at creative types, the 1280 by 800 pixel display is a bit of a disappointment. In use, it's right up there with the brightest and has good viewing angles for watching HD movies. But an eye-popping Super AMOLED screen would have been much, much better, as would a few hundred extra pixels to rival that gorgeous Retina display when it comes to working with images. Now, the Note 10.1 is as close as you'll get to a Galaxy S3 in tablet form. Pop-up play gives you a video window while you browse the web, email, or get some work done. And multi-screen will display 2 apps side by side in both portrait and landscape modes. You can even use mini apps like the music player and email on top of the 2 main screens, which is just brilliant. Another clever addition is Smart Stay, which uses the front-facing camera to make sure the Note 10.1 never goes to sleep while you're looking at it. And with a 1.4 GHz quad-core processor coupled with 2 GB of RAM, the Note 10.1 glides through Ice Cream Sandwich and runs super smooth. When switching between the video player and web pages using multi-screen, for example, you might have to be a tad patient, but performance is still impressive. Its 1.9 megapixel 720p front-facing camera won't impress during Skype video chats, but the 5 megapixel snapper on the rear is good enough for on-the-go shots once it's focused. Now on to the S Pen with its curved end that elegantly blends into the tablet's form factor. Pull it out and you get a sidebar of options for Samsung's built-in apps like S Planner and S Note that you can use with it. And alongside pre-installed suggestions like Crayon Physics, there's also apps like Infinite Painter and OmniSketch. The S Pen even claims to give would-be artists greater precision than cheap tablet pens. And it is light and easy to exert pressure with, but is a little on the spindly side, and it does encounter some lag with some apps, but not enough to stop us enjoying it. We experienced a few hitches when drawing using Infinite Painter, but blending colours and flexing our illustration skills was impressive, but certainly wouldn't replace anything more professional. Games-wise, there's the simple enough Maze Racer, which sees you using the S Pen to draw routes against the clock. There's also secure signature apps that could put an end to using your cranky scanner, so nothing groundbreaking, but hopefully more optimised apps will show up soon. The gestures take a little getting used to, and typing will inevitably be quicker, but scrawling your no doubt word-saving thoughts and seeing them instantly transform into text is still satisfying. And with Polaris Office, you can even turn it into a highlighter or use it to annotate documents, spreadsheets, or presentations. Now, we were seriously impressed by Photoshop Touch, which is essentially Adobe Photoshop Lite for tablets. The S Pen is genuinely useful when dragging the corners of images to resize or rotate them, sliding saturation and brightness levels, and creating selections and layers. It won't satisfy professionals, but will be good enough for the rest of us, especially since it comes pre-installed. So there's lots to love about Samsung's Galaxy Note 10.1, but if it were a little faster with at least a 1080p display, it would be a serious contender for the top Android tablet. Now, if you do need a pen substitute, there are loads of third-party styluses out there, and unfortunately, when it comes to creativity, developers are continuing to push their core apps to the iPad and the iPhone. But it does offer features you won't find on iOS, and while it is an awesomely niche product, it's up against stiff competition from the likes of the Nexus 7 and the Asus Transformer Infinity. And yes, we've got to say it, the iPad is still the tablet to beat.